Alright, this is Travis Wayne Goodsill. I'm going to do an LDS critic video here. I used to have my other YouTube account attached to my other Gmail account, and I was involved in attacking or defending myself against attacking Russians who have been attacking us for years now, and they like to pose as Mormons. They're easily exposed because they don't know nothing about Mormonism. It's very obvious. A person who's born and raised and who knows all about it, from the traditions, the mannerisms, the secret coded wording, all of that stuff, they are clueless. They just sit in an office in St. Petersburg and go around trolling on the internet to protect the LDS Church. And there's a reason why. I'm just wanting to give you a little introduction here. I'm not able to get into exact details because that's what video series are all about. I can't explain each and every single detail in each and every single video. That would be lame. That would be ridiculous of me to try to do that. And it would take too long to upload a full day's worth of videos. And so, my other site got sabotaged as Google is a Russian asset and has taken over YouTube in an acquisition, and with Mormons that are involved with YouTube, and analytics are also involved. If you're unfamiliar with analytics and how they played a role in Facebook's treason against America through Cambridge Analytica. And so, yeah, with my website also being attacked by Google Analytics, I'm being censored, and it's because of the information I try to warn the world about. Not just about government, but about the LDS Church. So the LDS Church, Joseph Smith was the founder, and his organization, in short, was all about protecting America from an infiltration threat to destroy it. He was wanting to build up a Knights Templar army to defend America. And yes, you've never heard of that, have you? Not even Mormons. Dum 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 dum. South Park, if you're unfamiliar. And so when Joseph Smith was murdered, the year he was running for president of the United States, the church shattered. Many different groups resulted. And so Brigham Young was just one of those groups. And his was the corrupt criminal organization. And so that's why it's so big and powerful and wealthy, is because it's a criminal organization. And that's where we get to me, having been born and raised as Mormon through alt-right Mormon white supremacist parents. I was in it. I know Mormons. I am one, and so I pursued trying to prove Joseph Smith was correct, because they claimed succession through Joseph Smith, just like everybody else claims succession through Joseph Smith. And I pursued ancient language translation. I wanted to know what the Book of Abraham facsimiles meant. There was no translation of them, and I wanted to know what they say. And so I figured it out. I'm now the foremost decipherer. I am the one who deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. It's not Semitic. And I'm the one who deciphered Egyptian petroglyphs. Egyptologists only translate the text because the Rosetta Stone was the Greek transforming of Egyptian into the Greek language so that it can be understood. And so when the Book of Mormon says that the Book of Mormon was written in the language of the Egyptians, but the learning of the Jews, they're referring to the Rosetta Stone, which is the language of the Egyptians, but the learning of the Greeks. And so there's a bit of a difference there. So with Brigham Young, as a criminal organization, it was his intention to destroy America. He was the threat that Joseph Smith was wanting to defend against. And with Joseph's assassination by orders of Brigham Young, Brigham Young then wanted to destroy America and used Joseph Smith's claim to defend the United States, but instead to turn it around to blame the United States for the murder of Joseph, which he himself was guilty of, to justify destroying America. And because they had to flee the United States and head off into the desert desolation of Salt Lake City, they formed his own kingdom of Deseret. And the United States has been putting pressure on the Mormon Utahns ever since. But the lies about polygamy allowed the Utah Mormons to regain their citizenship in America, and they're still practicing polygamy. Like I said, there's lots of topics to cover here, and my other website was only touching on 100th part before I was sabotaged by the Russian enemies of America, and so I come along and I figure out translation, and also make the discovery that the Bible is taken from the Egyptian translations of the petroglyphs. And so when I go to the church and present this to them, they freak out. Why? Because they claim that they and they alone can translate ancient documents, and nobody else can do it, and therefore anybody else who claims must be silenced and disappeared. And that's what they did to me. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, of which I am a member of, had me disappeared for 6 years. I've got the evidence. There is a lawsuit in process, and because the consequences are that the agents of the LDS Church, which are members, loyalists, and if you're not familiar with what a loyalist is, if you're a Mormon watching this, remember the temple covenants you make? Remember the one about protecting and defending the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Consecrating your all? Yeah, you gave loyalty to defend the church even when they're corrupt. And that's a naughty no-no. And so as you can see, I'm free, sort of, but the agents of the church are continually putting pressure on me to get me to conform and comply. As my coughing indicates, it's a landlord issue of retaliation from the church. And so, yeah, that's what a crime organization does, is even though they themselves are not the ones doing the punishing and censorship and all that, the agents of the church do things on their behalf. And under RICO, the church is equally responsible, and mainly responsible as the organization leaders. So the government of Utah are loyalists to the LDS Church, and there's lots of stuff to cover on this. So I just wanted you to know of what's going on, and give an introduction video for my LDS criticism page on YouTube, on this other channel, as a further attempt, because we're running out of time here. The threat to destroy America is in process right now. And if you're not paying attention, if you're not watching the real news, you're only watching Fox News, you're clueless about what's going on. And that's their intention, is to keep you clueless about what's going on. That's part of censorship. So I want to keep talking, but people get bored. And as you notice from my other government video, I'm not allowing comments. I'm not going to be battling out with Russian trolls pretending to be Mormons. So screw you. You're going to put down a whole bunch of thumbs down anyway, so whatever. That's YouTube who's betrayed us on that one. Alright, so we'll see how this goes.